That's my Tom Cruise box.
Hello, I'm the Guitar Geek, and
Yes, he is.
this man next to me has been so nice enough to wait around for about 3 days. We're trying to get an interview together, and we've finally done it.
It's fantastic.
This is Joe Morgan.
Hey, guys.
And this is one of Joe's creations. What have we got here, Joe?
Yeah, it's a guitar amp. You plug a guitar into it, it makes the guitar louder so people can hear you.
Someone should start building those like on a mass-produced level.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting to me because I realized that there weren't enough guitar amp manufacturers in the marketplace. And there were so many people that needed to have their guitars louder. I figured it'd be a good spot for me just to jump in and really like help the community out by making, you know, more noise.
Good man.
I'm a giver.
It's kind of the same for me. I thought there's not enough guitar channels on YouTube.
Right. Perfect.
So that's what I did. And which one have we got here?
This is actually, all kidding aside, this is the Josh Smith signature model. It's a based off old Princeton reverb. All the mods I used to do for guys to make their Princetons giggable. Went into the original one was the PR12 that we made for Josh when he was playing on the Grammys. And then the Josh Smith model has all the small changes that I've done to his amp over the years that, you know, made it Josh's amp. And then he uses the, he worked with Eminence, a speaker company, to create the Josh Smith signature speaker. And it's how he hears guitar tone. So it's just a great combination of, you know, that just a really warm Fender style 12-watt amp that can be way too loud for home use and be heard over the loudest drummer.
So that's the Princeton issue. Now that's what you've fixed.
Yeah, I made the Princeton a non-home amp. I took the Princeton out of the home and put it on the stage. No, it's a really loud amp.
Yeah.
So just because it's 12 watts, don't be fooled. This power's non-linear, right? Speaking of geekdom. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to go there.
Joe, we're finally in a room with air conditioning.
Oh. How did that happen?
I don't know, but it sort of saw you and said, that man needs AC.
That is...
Is it coming out of those tiny holes that the people at home can't see?
Yeah, it is coming out of those
tiny
holes.
That makes us for a good video.
Either that or we're being gassed.
Well, the door's open. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
We don't do that here anymore.
I've been in the pedal room this week at Tom Gearhead University, playing through your 20-watt. I don't want to say. Is it AC?
Yeah,
it's the AC20. Okay, I thought it was. I'm going back to another company. But,
yeah. That was on purpose.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
And I'm
took
afraid
me forever to come up with that name.
Ding.
An epiphany.
I had to operate the camera for Henning Poley, so I learned a lot about that. So if you really want, go and watch Henning's video because Joe's in it. But just sort of put your hand on the one side of the screen so you can't see Henning. And you taught me a lot about stuff that I hadn't even thought about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about the tube changing.
Oh, right.
But that's the AC20.
Yeah, the AC20. I mean, with anything, you know, I think in that I referenced chicken.
You did?
Like 12AX7 is chicken. People often ask me, why don't you make a 3-channel amp? Because, you know, I want my Fender Clean and my Marshall Crunch and my Bogner lead tone. And I try to explain to people that chicken is chicken. So if you think of the 12AX7 like chicken, every amp in this room uses a 12AX7 as its preamp section, right? Probably every amp in the store. Probably every amp that everybody owns out there who's watching this has got a 12AX7 in it. And that's 12AX7 sounds like a 12AX7 that sounds like a 12AX7, right? That's not what makes a Vox, a Marshall, or a Fender. It's what we do to that chicken, you know, whether it's barbecue or fry or curry, right? All that happens on the back end, right? So it's EL84s instead of EL34s or 6L6s. It's negative feedback. How much negative feedback? No negative feedback. It's the class of operation of the tube. Is it, you know, push-pull AB or is it cathode bias class A? It's all that kind of stuff that makes, you know, that we take that chicken that we're all using and do something really cool with it. And that's, for me, single-channel amps that do that one thing really, really well. I want to make you the best chicken curry I can, and let's make the best barbecue chicken I can, right? And the best fried chicken or Nashville hot chicken, which is a favorite of mine. But I can't do that effectively in a 3-channel amp and look somebody in the eye and say, yeah, this is my Fender sound. This is my Marshall sound. this is my Wagner sound. All you have to do is step on this pedal and to achieve it. It's just, it isn't the truth.
But to push the analogy further, I love like curry chicken, I love barbecue chicken, and the Nashville one, that sounds good.
Oh, it's hot. It's good.
But I wouldn't want to eat it all on one plate.
Right.
Or at the same dinner with changing the plates.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't taste as good.
It would not taste as good. And I think that's exactly right. You know, guitar players, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and we were talking about guitar players, especially you younger people that are coming up that have never experienced like plugging into a Marshall 100 watt on a 4x12 with everything turned up to 10. There's a visceral experience that is getting killed off in this generation of guitar players.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, you need to go out and try plates of curry, you know, try some barbecue chicken the way it was really meant to be, not just, you know, look at
Pictures of chicken.
Yeah, pictures of chicken, exactly.
Yeah, I think, the plugins we have now, for example, are fantastic.
Right.
But if you're plugging them through your monitors or headphones, you miss that trouser flap, you miss that feel, you miss that rumble in your chest.
Right.
From a Marshall, for example, and you miss that clarity from a Fender style or a Vox. And if you're doing that to help people get that sound and get the young people more access to it.
And with that, like with that uncontrolled Marshall pants moving thing, you learn that I have to be careful about how I'm hitting the strings on my guitar.
Yeah.
I have to be good with my right hand and my pick. And you start hearing all the subtle differences between hitting it flat or hitting a sharper edge, or you just using your fingers to paint a wide variety of tones, you know, with an amplifier. And I think, you know, if more people will get out and do that, you know, I think music would be better, first of all.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that people seeing the subtle differences would finally kill off digital amp modeling.
Well,
Not that I'm leaning against that.
To be devil's advocate, I think it has its place. You know, as a father, I can't possibly at all times of the day plug in and play what I want to do.
Right.
But it'll always be second best.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, you know, if I was doing a gig where, like on Broadway or something, I had to get to a million different tones, and it was more important about the production as opposed to my experience as an artist. Yeah, absolutely. But if I was starting a band, I wouldn't go, yeah, that's the device I want to start the band with. And I think that's, you know, it's exactly what you said. It's second best. There's definitely a digital disconnect, at least for me, that I can't get past. But I can see the uses, and I know I have tons of friends that are in those other situations where they have to be able to use something. And you know, technology is really cool, but let's not forget why we're doing it.
Exactly. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
Right.
To quote Jurassic Park again. That's not the fifth time I talk about Jurassic Park.
It's awesome.
Joe, if I may, I'd like to introduce the lady that's in the room.
Oh, fantastic.
Pam, come over here. This is Pam, this is Joe's wife. And she has the reputation, there's the camera there, of being the nicest person here at Tom McGee University 2018.
You're very kind.
It's not me, I'm not saying it. I said I'm going to test her, I'm going to make her take me next door for a drink. And we did go next door for a drink. And she has owned a little badge, which I'm going to have to make you, sort of, out of card.
Oh.
And it's so nice to see a family company. I've heard all about your family and this passion. And I don't want to say runs through your veins and use those cliches. But what you do is what you do. It's not just you're trying to make some money, you know?
Right.
And there's a lot of that.
For me, when somebody plays through one of my amps for the first time and has that visceral experience where it has that, like, oh, I didn't expect this, right? And then they continue to play, that's it. That's it for me. And whether that's, you know, a 12-year-old girl or, you know, or it's a 70-year-old man, it's the experience is the same. At least for me, to see, you know, through their eyes, the inspiration to make music. I want more music, and if that means fewer notes, then great. But you know, I want more music and less just noodling.
Well, I started off with when the Boss DS1 was king, you know, in the 90s. Yeah. And I was just thrashing the hell out of stuff and not knowing what I was doing with tone. The older I've gotten, less notes, more music, more tone, less business, more music, and letting the product, which is the music or the amp or the guitar, talk for itself.
Absolutely. In fact, I'll echo that. I played hardcore punk rock in the early 80s, right?
Nice.
And in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and one of our friends was all the guys in the Replacements, but Tommy Stinson, the bass player, came to one of our rehearsals, and the bass player and I are tuning up to each other, and hey, give me an E, and he gives me an E, and we're tuning and stuff. And Tommy looks mortified, and he goes, "That's nowhere near E." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he went out and bought us a tuner. So it was like, I had no idea that you had to tune a guitar to a specific frequency. We were just making noise, we were just doing it,
Mm-hmm.
And it's that kind of, that's the part that's missing for a lot of music, right? Where it's like, I don't, just do it. You be you go make some noise, you go make some music, you let whatever's inside of you out. And that's it. That is absolutely the thing.
I just want Pam on my side for now, if that's okay. I'm going to be a little bit jealous. There we go. That's the only reason I brought you in here.
Oh, you wanted a hug.
Yeah, what's it like being married to that?
Oh,
what's it like?
God.
It's awesome. It really is. He's a great guy. Don't let him fool you. He tries to act like he's not, but he's a great guy. It makes great amps.
Yeah. Well, I really could spend all day.
How much was that?
Check, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pam.
You're welcome.
Joe,
Yeah,
thank
super
you
nice.
so much.
My pleasure.
Morgan Amps, I mean, I don't need to say much more than that. The reputation.
Oh, you have to say, hey, smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe.
I've stopped doing that because...
I know, because it seems cheesy.
Yeah, well, it does seem cheesy, but also let the product talk for itself. If you like this, press the like button. If you really like it, press the subscribe button. If you really like it, then send me some money.
Yeah, all his money comes from me now.
Yeah.
So
Morganamps.com?
Morganamps.com.
/ the guitar geek.
Yeah, / the guitar geek. Yeah, you'll find it there.
Yeah. Joe, thank you once again.
Super fun, yeah.
Go check out Morgan Amps at morganamps.com, and if you want to like or do any of that stuff, then do it. If you don't, then see you again sometime. Bye-bye.
Okay, now, no joke, send me the video as a file.
Yeah.
And I'll put morganamps.com / the guitar geek, and if they go to it, it'll access that file and send them to your YouTube.
I will do that. That would be awesome.
Don't look ahead, university.